is going on, YouTube? What a great day. It's Monday, and that means it's Money Monday. We get to talk specifically on the topic of personal finance. Those of you who are new, my name is Dr. Troy, and I'm the Oola Guru, and I hang out on this page with my good buddy, Dr. Dave, who's the Oola Seeker, and we wrote a best-selling book series entitled Oola. That comes from the word ooh la la because that's what it feels like when your life is balanced and growing in the 7 key areas of fitness, finance, family, field, which is your career, faith, friends, and fun. We also co-founded OolaLife.com, which is your free resource to find a life of more balance, less stress, and greater purpose. But this is specifically finance. And I'm super excited because we're going to take this dry topic called retirement investing and spice it up to the point where I even have a magic marker in a box and a $20 bill. So I'm going to make this as interesting as I can and give you the 3 decisions you need to make, just 3, when you're thinking about retirement, because what happens typically is it's something we don't think about until we're 30 or 40 or 50, but if we could learn this young, more power to you because you get the benefit of compound interest. And I'm going to go back to when I was young and I was 22, 23, and just out of college and always seeking information from people who are a step or 2 ahead of me. And I remember sitting down with my accountant at that time, the first time I had a business, the first time I had money, significant money that I had to allocate and pay taxes on and quarterly estimates because I was self-employed. And I remember saying, like, if you, as a guy who was successful, he had a successful accounting firm, if you would give me, someone who's young and I want to be up and coming, what advice would you give me? And I remember clearly him saying, save 15% of every dollar you ever make and stay married to the same gal. Now, he was divorced 3 times and hadn't saved his money. So that was coming from a point of wisdom, like, man, if I had done those 2 things, if I had saved 15% of every dollar I'd ever made and didn't have to divide my money in the first divorce and divide my money in the second divorce, these were financial things that he said that stuck with me. And I remember at that point going back to my tax returns when I delivered flowers at a flower shop and I worked an assembly line going through college, and I calculated what 15% should have been, and I got caught up. And I said, from this point forward, I'm going to save 15% of every dollar I ever make. Not for a car, not for a house, not for a vacation, but for my financial future. Because I remember seeing my dad work 2 and even 3 jobs to provide for us kids, and doing that later into his life. And I'm like, I wanted to retire young. And luckily I was able to do that with some of these principles and the other things we teach here at the age of 42, debt-free and retired. So this is an important one. And a lot of people are intimidated by it, so they do nothing. They sit down with a financial advisor and they start talking about all these sophisticated terms and all these complicated things. And you work so hard for your money that you're so afraid to put it in the wrong place that you do nothing, which is the wrong decision too. So what advice would I give to you, someone who is new in retirement investing, and someone like, where should I put my money? What box, that's what I'm going to talk about today. What box should I put it in? That's what this is for. So where should I put this? What box should I put it in? And then where should I send this box? Like, where should this money sit? Where should it be shipped and sit to? And in explaining it this way, it's my hope that you understand that it's not that intimidating, it's not that scary. It's just something that you need to make a choice on. You need to do, and then you just need to revisit it annually. So the first question is, how much should I invest for my future in retirement? And the answer is that it's universally accepted. If you look all over, everyone's pretty much going to tell you the same answer, and you can guess it. It's a percentage. It's 15%. So 15%, I just gave you the answer because I told you the accountant thing. Just thought of that now. But yeah, it's 15%. You can't hear it enough. And the reality is only 1 in 15 of us are doing that right now. So that's why this retirement thing becomes a stress for people, because it's just not done. But I don't want you to be that person. I don't want you to be that person that's in a job you hate and you need to continue to work, or your body can't hold out anymore and you have to continue to work just because you have no other options. This money is investing in your future, so you have a freedom later in life to not be worried about money. So this is your future money, and it should be 15%. So the answer to question 1 is, how much money should I put into the box? It's 15% of your income. And the reason that's important is if you make $40,000 a year and you put 15% in, at retirement, you'll be able to live at that lifestyle that you're used to from that point and beyond. If you make $400,000 a year and you put 15% of your money away, it's a larger number every month. So therefore, you're going to be able to live the lifestyle you're accustomed to. And that's why that number is so important. And then you need to put it in a box. And the general heading of the box is that, an IRA. So you're dropping your 15% into an IRA. I don't know if this is impactful or just cheesy, but I'm going for it. Because you have to take a certain percentage of your money, you decide how much, and you put it in the box. And the box you're putting it in is for later. It's money you can't have. Don't take it out. If you can't allocate it, don't take it out because you get penalized heavily. So you're simply dropping that money into a box called an IRA, which is an individual retirement account, and that's for your financial future later upon retirement or later in life. The key is now, is there in this box, there are really three types of IRA. There's more, but the three, in order to simplify this, I'm going to break this up into three types of IRAs. Two of them are tax deferred, meaning the money is taken out before you pay taxes on it. And what I mean by that is if, let's say you make, I'm going to make the math super simple. If you make $10,000 a month, wouldn't that be nice? That'd be awesome. $10,000 a month, and you withheld 15% into this IRA, which we just talked about. So you only pay taxes on $8,500 income taxes. It's as if you made $8,500 and not $10,000. So the cool thing on a tax deferred IRA is you save the income tax in that moment. So that's cool, right? Instead of paying on $10,000, you pay income tax on $8,500. And the two IRAs that I'm going to talk about that are tax deferred are the 401k, which many of you have at work. It's usually an employer-offered plan, or what's called a SEP IRA. SEP IRA is typically for those who are self-employed, if you're freelance, or if you have a small business. I'm self-employed-ish, small business-ish, so I have a SEP IRA. Those are tax deferred. You can put those into those boxes. So the two IRAs that are tax deferred, that are options of where to drop your money, are the SEP, is Simplified Employee Pension, if that matters. It's called a Simplified Employee Pension. Think about this. This is why people fall asleep with money. SEP IRA is a Simplified Employee Pension Individual Retirement Account. I almost fell asleep saying that. So, but it's just called a SEP. So a SEP is if you're a freelancer, self-employed, small business, that's for you. 401k is many times what you get offered at your point of employment. And the other option, which is after tax, I'm going to put a star by it because I love it. It's the Roth. So now, you have money, you pick the amount, I'm encouraging 15%, you drop it in your IRA box, and then you choose specifically what box to put it in. Do I put it in a 401k? Do I put it in SEP, Simple Employee Pension? Or do I put it in a Roth? And the answer may be one or even a combination of those boxes. So hang with me on this part, because once you make these decisions, they're pretty easy. So you made the decision of how much, you made the decision I'm going to put some money into an account for later in my life called an IRA. Now you're trying to say, is it a 401k, is it a SEP, or is it a Roth? And the 401k and the SEP are tax deferred. The Roth, you pay the tax right away. It's like after tax dollars. So if you had that $10,000, you pay your tax on that, and you take the money and put it in a Roth. Oh, I'm hoping you're hanging with me because this is important to understand. Now, let's just use that analogy again that you make. I'm going to change it actually. You make 100 grand a year and you're going to put away 15,000 a year. I might change this back. We'll see how the math works. But you're going to put away so much, 15% of your income. Where should that come from? Or what should I put it in? The SEP, the 401k, or the Roth? If your employee, so you have some money now, you've allocated. If your employee matches Like if the employee will put some money on top of this money, you need to take advantage of that. That's usually a 401k at work. It can be anywhere from 3%, 6%, depending on your employer. You have to take that money. Like that's awesome. Like I will do that. So let's say of the $1,500 a month you want to put away, 100 of it is contributed by your employer. That's awesome. So you put in 100, they put in 100, you have 1,300 left. Then you can go and fund your Roth. Your Roth income limits, I wrote it down because it's changed. Income limits for 2019 are $6,000 per individual. So then I would fully fund your Roth. And the reason this is so important, is your Roth grows after tax. And it's more important the younger you are, because you have the benefit of compound interest. If you run the math on putting away $6,000 a year now, which makes the math easy, $500 a month into a Roth, and it grows after tax, meaning when you pull the money out, it's your money. That's the difference, and that's the important difference to understand. In a 401k and in a SEP IRA, that money grows, but when you pull it out, you pay taxes on it. When a Roth grows, since you're using after-tax dollars initially, it just grows, and when you pull the money out, it's your money. And there's times, in appropriate times, you can pull that money out. It's for retirement. You can't pull it out early. You get penalized. But it's your money. It's after-tax money. So that's the important decision to make. And many times, when you look at a plan, it's a combination of things. Because, for instance, the Roth has income limits. If you're killing it, which I hope you are, I wrote this down too. As an individual, it begin phasing out at $122,000 a year, but you're done at $137,000. You can't contribute to a Roth. And as a couple, it starts phasing out at $193K a year, and at $203K a year, you can't contribute to a Roth anymore. So that may not even be an option for you. But if you're filling up this box to 15%, the way you fill this box is first with the employee match, take full advantage of that. Then if you qualify for a Roth, then you fill that up to the limits. If you and your spouse, whatever, it's $6,000 a year. If you still have room in the 15%, then you can do just a regular non-Roth IRA. You can just a regular IRA, which is after-tax dollars, which is fine, or a SEP IRA if you're self-employed, but get to 15%. And the third thing is now I've decided that I have a combination of all of these, whatever, a Roth, a SEP, and a 401k. Where do I put that money? Like, where do I set that money? Because this is just a box of how to label it and it really just tells the money how to be effective from a tax point of view. It doesn't say where it goes. There's actually ways you can put your retirement funds. Like I could set up a SEP and have a real estate trust and complicated things. The point of this Money Monday and the point for you is to do something that's simple. And the simplest place, in my opinion, and I want you to talk to a professional who's not selling you something. I want you to talk to someone who's got like a fiduciary who has your best interest in mind. But the best place is in stocks, bonds, or mutual funds. And it's a bit age related. If you look at the historic average, bonds have been at like 5.5%, stocks have been at 10%. I mean, mutual funds, like an S&P index fund would be at 10%. That's how I simplify. I make sure that the company I use to keep this metaphor going has low fees, because I read something recently in NerdWallet that said a millennial, a 1% fee for investing on a millennial's portfolio will have a negative impact of $590,000 over their lifetime. So although 1% doesn't sound like a lot in fees, and when you look at your itemization and see a little fee for this and a little fee for that, it doesn't feel like a lot. But when you calculate how young a millennial is and the loss of compound interest, the benefit of compound interest, over time, it calculated to $590,000 over their lifetime. So I make sure that it's a low fee place that I'm buying this, and then I just let it go. And I revisit it annually to make sure that it's meeting my needs. Whew, that's a lot. So where do we stand with this? First question, am I going to invest in my retirement, and how much? I'm recommending putting 15% in the box labeled IRA. Then you need to know, okay, I'm going to put 15% of my income away. Where am I going to allocate in the different options for me? The three big ones being a 401k, SEP IRA if you qualify, and a Roth. The difference between those is two of them, the 401k and the SEP IRA, are tax deferred, meaning that the good news is you're using money that you've already that you haven't paid taxes, so it lowers your annual income tax rate. The bad news is when you pull it out, you're gonna pay taxes on it. The good news about a Roth is that you get, so this one, I love this one. The good news about a Roth is it's after-tax dollars. The bad news is you pay taxes on the front end. So if you're gonna fill this up, if you're gonna fill up this bucket, I would take advantage of employee match if they have it. Then I would fund the Roth up to the limit if you still have room, like to get to your 15%. And then if there's still money to be invested to hit your 50% of that, you can put it into just a regular traditional IRA. And then where you put it, I want you to talk to someone, not me, because I don't want to be like also in the stock market will take a big dip and I'll feel responsible. It's your money. I want you to be wise with it, but talk to a fiduciary. But out of simplicity, I can tell you what I do is a significant part of my portfolio is just going into an index fund on a low fee. I'm using an online. I don't want to give someone, business, or it's not a sponsored thing, but just on something with low fee. So you just keep it lean and you just routinely autograph monthly and dump that in. And then once a year, I look at it and go, okay, do I want to move things around a little bit? I just usually don't, because I'm in it for the long haul. This is a long haul play. This is long vision, and it's important for you. So thanks for hanging with me. This one's intense. This one's I can only think of one more dry subject, which we're going to tackle, which is like insurance and how much and the right kinds, and we'll handle that some other day. But I'm glad you're here. Thank you for being responsible with your money. It's important for your future because this has so much more value in your life than just money. If you get your money right, it takes the stress out of your relationship, it takes the stress out of your health. You're able to have more joy in life, and that's why in Oola we believe so strongly in being financially responsible, not only for yourself, but for your family and for your kids. Teach them these skills because they're not taught anywhere else. So until next time, be grateful, have faith, and go get your Oola life.